Hello, welcome back. Something just happened when I started the game, so let's do that again and see if it re-happens. So last time I saw an ending, then checked out a little bit of TIS-net. So normally this starts up, testing backplane, testing nodes. Oh, so none of the complaints are there anymore. So what was that anti-tamper certification? So that hasn't changed. So, oh, maybe it's the fact that I solved all these that now it doesn't have corrupt segments debugging, whatever. Okay, well, cool. I made the computer happy, I guess, even though it killed me, possibly. Yeah, still, that's my interpretation. That thing that appeared in the random test for the image module decoder was let's see. This is the machine that was set up on his workbench when he died. Right. There are plenty of interpretations for like why he would have died from having seen that. Supernatural ones, or just like he was startled and had a heart attack. Who knows? Anyway, so sequence merger. It was suggested to me that I might be misunderstanding what's going on here, and I thought about it a little bit more and realized I don't have to do a full sort. There's a simpler way to go about this. Since these are initially sorted and in sequence, what I realized I can do is just read both, have a mediator, probably here, look at both values, and just take whichever one is lesser and send it on until both are 0, and then that's the end of that sequence. Then it can continue with the rest of them. Something like that, right? Seems reasonable. Okay, so we'll start with this. Okay, so somebody's going to have to store these values. You're probably going to do this. Let's just so I thought about some conventions here. I think a sensible way to go is that when I send a 0, it means read your current value. Since I'm using these common signals, so the 0 signal is going to be the read signal. A positive number will be a store signal, and a negative number will be something else. Is approximately how I'm going to interpret this. So read means swap, move ACK right, swap, jump loop. So if it is, let's see. So if you are, all right, so I either want to read your value or ask for the next one. So really what I want to do is something like that. So I don't need read. Okay, right. So read this. Store it here. Store it here. Read a signal from here. If it's greater than 0, then read another thing from there. This is not good. This is less than 0. Okay, so less than 0 means I'm done with this value. Go ahead and read a new one. I'm not storing from here. So yeah, by my conventions, I'll send a negative number to signal. Done with you. Do something else. All right. So NJLZ, restart, read a new one from there, wait for a signal. If not less than 0, swap, send, swap back, sounds good. Okay, so same thing with this. Now, it's possible these will end up needing to be smarter because this is a lot of logic to put in here. In fact, this is way too much logic to fit in this space. I can try though. Maybe it's not. Especially, like, I have to handle one of these being 0, and I have to detect when they're both 0. Oh, boy. Yeah, this isn't going to fit in this program. That's what the problem's going to be here. Maybe that's all right. Okay, so you are going to no, okay, so sure, you have to, so I want 0. I want to read from left, I want to read from right. And then I want to actually read a value. So if greater than 0 after subtracting, that's fine. If equal to 0, I need to make sure they're not both 0. Okay, so there's a bunch of so there's a bunch of stuff that'll have to happen here. Okay, so so much of this stuff would be much easier if I had more instruction space. Okay, so here I need to check for the zeros. So I subtracted, okay, so I could get a 0 if both are the same value, or I could get a 0 if both are 0. Also, hang on, I need to know if either one of them is 0. Oh boy, yeah, so this is way too complicated to fit in 15 instructions. All right, so that was my first thought. First thought's not going to work, even if I, like, reclaim 2 lines by compacting those 3 lines. Nothing good is going to happen. So, how will I split this up? You guys are already about half full. Okay, so I don't actually care where the values come from, so why don't I... Alright, for one thing, I need to not do so much signaling. This is eating up 2 out of 15 instructions, which is kind of a lot. Maybe I don't need to make these sticky. Maybe I can know exactly how many times I'm going to read each one. All right, so this didn't work. Well, it didn't fit is the problem. Let me do this. Okay, so I've read a value from here. I can go ahead and just, I think what I'm going to do is read both of these values, swap them around. The problem with swapping them is then I can't compare them. Now maybe you could do some further processing with the 2 numbers that come to you and detect, I don't know yet. And yeah, again, you would still need to do some signaling to those 2. There's a stack memory node there. It's kind of in the way. I'd rather have another one of these. My so far idea about how to solve this does not involve the stacks. It should not need to. I don't think it does need to. Yeah, so 20, 23.99, 17, blah, 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 blah. There's 20, 23.99 merged with all of those, and then the 0. Okay. Yeah, if I come up with a way to use these, I'll incorporate them, but right now I don't think I need them. Anyway, yeah, so I copied this over here so that I can just do whatever. Okay, so start over. Maybe don't start all the way over. Let's assume, let's forget about that signaling for now, and just assume that I can read whatever I need to read from here and it'll be the right thing. So you're going to do that. You know, I don't really care. I only care if they're both 0. Well, here, I don't know that this is a loop yet. Here, you know what? Just, there. So I read both values. Sure. They're here and here. I feel like I can do a thing where I know I'm going to read one of them once and one of them twice. So I move left and scroll it away. I move right, then I want to sub left. So left is going to write its value twice. Right is going to write its value once, possibly. Let me see if you need that value any more times. So read left, swap. Read right, subtract it. So you have an intact left in here, and you have the compared value. So you have right minus left in ACK. I feel like I should worry about 0 detection before comparating. Okay, I'm going to have to abbreviate that. Check 0 is CZ. BZ is both 0. Continue is cont. Problem is I have that swapped. So that's not great. I don't like this, and also it doesn't work at all. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Hold on. So let's do it. Let's invert that. Jez BZ. So if they're both 0, then yeah, just write 1 0, and then probably signal to restart this stuff. Okay, this is a start. I'm kind of just doing what I did here, only more compactly, so maybe I can fit it in here? It's not necessarily impossible. Okay, so I've read left and read right. I've compared them. So I have my 0 detection here. Something's missing here. So if it's not 0... Okay, that's better, I think. Okay. So that's fine. Now, if one of them is 0... Hold on. Now, you check if right and left are 0 here, but if one of them is 0... If left is already 0, then I definitely want to send right. Can I just make this work that way? Let's see. I'll think through that in a moment. So anyway, I've subbed left. My plan was to send the back buffer and send another read of this. All right, so left is being read twice. So right is going to be read twice too, possibly, conditionally. That's what's weird about this. So this might need to be a variable number of times. So I would need to signal. Well, that's annoying. All right, I'm not sure yet. So anyway, after subbing left, what do I want to do? Now I want to do some kind of branch. So if greater than 0, RF, right first. So left first means swap. Swap and then move ACK down. Yeah, something like that. Except the problem is... Okay, so for one thing... Oh, hey, so I can save a swap. No, that doesn't work. No, hang on. Okay, so let's go through all the cases here. So you've read right and subtracted left. If you end up with a positive number, then that means I want to send right first. Yes. Okay. Sending right first means move right down, swap, move ACK down. Hold on, no, better. Except that's not better. So the whole point of rearranging this and keeping these in both buffers is that I want to be able to just move ACK down, swap, move ACK down unconditionally after so what you need to do is arrange these two in like send first, send second order, then use the same instructions to send them both ways. Otherwise, I have to do a bunch of jumping and then like reverse these two instructions and it takes more space. I still don't think I'm going to fit in here, so I'm probably just prolonging the inevitable. But let's see if I can get these buffers in the right order. All right, so RF is... right, and then ACK. I mean, this looks wrong. This looks very wrong. This is definitely wrong. So yeah, I want to do something like jump to send there. Yeah, I don't have space. Okay, so how do I rephrase this so that somebody else can share the load? Like what concept from here can another node share the load with? Comparating? Checking for zeros? Maybe. And which other node? Like, you don't have access to anybody. Like, if this jerk weren't here, I'd be in better shape, but this jerk is here. I could go via the stack nodes. Okay, so a thing I could do is just write a sufficient number of copies of this value to the stack memory node. Oh, yeah, what about like put a whole pile of them in here, let whoever needs to read them as many times as it wants, and then, right, so my information could flow like this. And like this, kind of. You'd be the controller? Well, no. Okay, so the problem is this stack memory node has access to only 2 neighbors. So I'm going to have at least one of these with multiple responsibilities. That's annoying. Alright, I definitely don't need this anymore. Alright, so hang on. What exactly are your responsibilities? What I want to do is read these values and signal to those nodes, if necessary. Compare the 2 values. Send them in an order. And check for zeros. So probably what I want to do is send the 2 values unconditionally onto here, have it check if they're both 0. This one sends back a signal saying what for you to do, then passes a value through itself or something like that? I don't feel great about that. Also, these are written wrong for what's in here at the moment. Okay, so how many instructions is the 0 check taking up right now? 1. And also you're only checking, well, no, you're reasonably efficient about it. So if you get a 0 from here, then you check if that one gave you a 0. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 instructions is a lot. But how many instructions would it be to offload it to you? So this would look something like... Could I have somebody else just like read these values independently and send the signal on, maybe? Well, what route would they flow through for that to happen? It's getting real awkward. Maybe this one. So you'll send your value in there. Yeah, so I want a 0 checker someplace else. I was thinking here-ish. There's no reason to go via the stack memory node for that. Okay, so... Alright, so if you're a 0 checker, you're getting both the values. Let's just assume that this sends... here. There. So that value comes through there. You have 1 extra instruction for passing it through. I'll just time that so that it happens as necessary. So you're the 0 checker. You're going to have to also pass a signal up here. That's fine. Great. That sounds okay. Alright, so not 0, swap, not 0. So my not 0 value can just be some random positive number for that. My 0 number should obviously be 0. Okay, so you will get either a 0 or a positive number from this. Do I care, though, if one of them is 0? Yes, I certainly do, because then I have to only send one of the 2. I think I can see how to do that. So just jump over the send with a jez if you get a 0. Okay, I see how to do that. All right. So, I guess I'm rewriting this again. That's totally fine. Let me, again, copy it over here in case I need it. Why did you copy like that? Oh, I guess you had a new line in you. All right. So delete you. So you get signal. Your signal is either 0 or positive. Well, what do you actually do if you get 2 zeros? Oh, I'm not sure yet. Handle 0 signal. That'll take a few lines. Okay, so if it's not 0, you still need to compare. Right, so you want the smaller one first, of course. So how is this actually going to look? You won't have one of these per... Oh, boy. Synchronizing all of this is tough because... Oh, because it is. A lot of information is flowing around a lot of different places. And I don't have it all in a clear... I mean, this is just a big tangled spider web. I don't like it. And I'm not sure what the next step would be. Let me think about whether I'm on the right track at all here. I might not be. Okay, so I'm having a strong feeling that this is finally the first place I actually want to use any, and maybe last. So let's just talk through what that would look like. What if these would read from here and just write their values in turn to whoever will listen, you, and you would move from any as many times as you have values to write. Well, but then how would you terminate? No, I don't see how that would work. See, the problem is, like, if I get blocked on a port, it just feels really hard to actually use these for anything. Any real logic here. So if no, that will not work because I have to read these in a fairly structured order. Oh, hold on. Okay, so here's an error in my thinking. Yeah, here's a big error in my thinking. This is why all of this was wrong. Aha. And fixing that will make this easier. So what I was trying to do here with this program that wouldn't fit was to compare these, then send both of them, then go on to the next one. That's completely wrong. I only ever want to send one of these at a time because if I get 20 and 17, I don't know if there isn't another 17 or another 20 or an 18 or a 19 sometime coming up here. I need to only just send the one. Yeah, okay, so that makes this, that changes a lot of things here. So I made a big mess with all my 0 signals and stuff here. Maybe that's still okay. So yeah, I don't want to send, there is no write first, it's write only. So, all right, so write. Let's just write this out as if I was gonna do it. What do you listen for? So less than 0 means go on to the next value. I'm done with you. So that's how I'll spell left. I can fit a comma this time. That's not a comma. That's not a comma. You'd probably just fall through. Okay, so something like this. Move left ACK, sub right. jump, left. Okay, so this comparison logic actually seems pretty decent. Now I can, okay, sure, so I have, right, so you're not storing anything. That's all totally fine. Yes, this makes sense, I think. Still gonna have to... Okay, let's ignore the zero signal stuff for now. I want to retrieve. I want to retrieve. So if I'm just doing something as simple as that, you just ask for a value from the left. Store it. Ask for a value from the right. Subtract it. If left is greater, then you want to move right. Or sorry, if right is, yeah, if left is greater, you want to move, if right is lesser, you want to move right. Otherwise, you want to do the left. Thing is, though, you don't want to send a 0. Yeah, you don't want to send a 0 if the lesser value is a 0. So it seems like you need to know when there is a 0. So if one of these is 0, then maybe I can just short circuit this and like dump out all the values of that. But this jerks in the way. Like I could do a dump node that would just read as many values from here as it needed, send them because there were no more from over there. But that's not quite going to work. Okay, but I'm much more on the right track now. I definitely had just a thinking error in what I would do with comparing those two values. So this is a start. Now, what am I going to do with the zeros? Yeah, so this is fine if I don't, if the sequences are infinite. So do I want you to be a zero detector? Maybe. If you were... Okay, so if they both hit 0 at the same time, then somebody other than you can handle that and just move them on to the next thingy. Although I guess you do need to send a 0 to downward. Well, not necessarily. I mean, somebody else can do that. Yeah, so anyway, with you as the main comparator, like, you don't have to be the main comparator. I could put that elsewhere. I could put that down here. Maybe you should be the zero detector. But I mean, it doesn't make a difference, just one way or another. These values need to be shuffled to two different things for two different tasks. So I need zero detection and I need a comparator. So this is fine in this layout, I think. Okay. So you're sending the 0. When you move on to a new one, then that's fine, I think. Okay, so who's like the control flow for this? How does this start? It starts with both of these sending a value over here. So you are the control flow. All right, so we have control flow, we have comparator. Okay. I might need control flow itself to be separate from zero detection, maybe, because this is taking a few instructions. Not that many. There. I freed up a line in case I need to. Jump to New Zealand. So what's missing specifically here? Like the control for this. So you, right now, are just sending a signal saying whether both are 0 or at least one is not. You might not need to know about that signal again. So actually, how about just one signal for give me whichever value is lesser, one signal for give me the left value, and one signal for give me the right value. I think that's actually good. Okay, so that's going to be your job. So you listen to that. All right, so move down ACK. Right, so negative means read left, positive means read right, 0 means do the comparison and read both. Sure. Sounds good. So if negative, read left. If positive, read right. If neither, oh, but the read isn't actually, no, the read is here. Yeah, totally. Great, okay. So is this actually all in good shape, maybe? Okay, yeah, so listen for a signal. Yeah, so, hi, I want a value. I'm going to send a signal up here. You're going to figure out the value. I've either requested left, or requested right, or requested whichever is which. So then you need to know, I think that's fine. All right, so synchronize. No, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. I know what I'm doing. Kind of. Everything I've written here can be adapted to do this the way it needs to happen. I should stop looking at this program because it's already fine. It's correct for what it is. 1, 2, 3, left down, jump loop. Yes, this is great. Okay, so this is perfectly fine. So zero detector. This might have problems, I'm not sure yet. This might have problems, I'm not sure yet. This definitely has problems. So I know that for sure, and this definitely has problems. Okay, let's work here. So, read the up, read the right. So you got the left here, you got the right here. You will definitely read both of those values for every iteration. On every iteration, you will read one of these values and send it on. You, passed on by you, will tell you which one of those values to read. If you say 0, then you'll read whichever is which. Okay, great. So that all works. I've convinced myself that that's a good idea. So, move up, ACK, move right, ACK. So you read both on every iteration. If you're not 0, well, if right is not 0, yeah, okay, so this is wrong right now. So that's maybe 0. Oh, wait, no, what? Okay, so move up, ACK. So left might be 0. Or sorry, right might be 0. If right is 0, man, I wish I could I wish I had variables or another register or something. I mean, I could like send something over here to say whether left was 0 or not. No, I'm using both of your registers. I can't read and compare any values. I just, the only values I can read and compare are these. Okay, this is fine. I'm just trying to figure out the logic of this, because it's kind of tangled. Like, I need to jez with 2 separate values at the same time. That's what's hard here. Okay, so let's just read both. So if right is 0, I needed to start over with all this. It's confusing me. If right is 0, then check left. Okay, both 0. Both 0 means, that doesn't mean anything for you. Okay, so here's a problem. When that happens, I need to get a signal over here. Do I? Maybe I don't. Maybe what happens there is these will automatically just proceed like that. Well, no, but you have to pass them on. Well, maybe you can just do this. Yes, that looks very reasonable, actually. So those will just automatically restart after they've passed their 0 to this guy and continue to the next one. So that's fine. You will send a signal. How are you going to send a signal to you when I already have all of those occupied? Is this a 4-signal situation? Well, but maybe I should move this over here. I don't yet know why I wouldn't do that. Okay, so let's say I moved this over here. Maybe I can fit it into this. Move left ACK, move right ACK. Jez check left. Jez both 0. So both 0 means move 0 down and then just continue. Great. BZ, both 0. All right. So CL, check left. So both 0. Jezbz. JNZ. No, Jezbz is fine. So right is 0. If right is 0, then and left is not, then I want to move. I want to tell this to read that. Yes, okay, so something like this. Right, something like that, okay. All right, so if right is not 0, I can just let this check an extra time if it really needs. Oh no, hang on, no. So you need a copy of some logic here, don't you? Swap Jezbz. Okay. That actually looks pretty reasonable. Okay, so what have I done? So anyway, read these. So left is here, right is here. If right is 0, then check left. If left is 0, then... Wait, this is wrong. Oh yeah, no, it's right. If left is 0, then do that and fall through and keep checking. Don't tell you anything. Okay, I never move a 0 up here, so I'm missing some logic for that, but I think I can just stick it in to the appropriate place. Okay, so if right is not 0, then I swap again and check left. I have to do both of these reads so that they'll synchronize and stuff. So that's why I'm doing like this extra read and swap and then check rather than just like checking right here. So hang on, Jezbz is wrong here. Jez LZ is what I need. And I need an LZ, don't I? Nobody is 0. Okay, so NZ. Yeah, so I would do this. I don't have enough room here. And I can't make any more. So that's what's wrong with this. Also, I need one of these. So I think I know what to do. I think I'm going to have you store whatever signal I want to send here so that I can repeat these instructions. I do need another repetition of this for the 0 case. The sending 0 signal case here. The neither is 0 case. Okay, so you're going to store... No, don't you do it. Hang on. There's a problem with using this stack memory node. It's going to just fill up with stuff, isn't it? It might. I'm worried you are going to be a problem for this. Let's not think about that yet, but that is actually a kind of serious worry. So you need to not proceed with filling this with values until you're told to. Which is fine. I mean, you have to tell it that, don't you? Maybe. Anyway, again, let's not worry about this yet. So, so I need to send a 222 to the left. And then somebody is going to do this. Send, move left, up. Move up, down, 222 left. Move up, down, jump loop. Well, this isn't saving very many instructions, but it's some. Maybe I can have somebody fall through to send so that I can save that instruction. Also, I don't have the move -222. Okay, so I think that works at least, but I still don't have NZ here, and I don't have room for it. And I haven't saved anything here, have I? This doesn't feel like it's helped. All right, let me think about how to split this up, because apparently my first attempt didn't work. All right, I think I might be able to just kind of squeeze some instructions out of this and make it fit, because I'm not super far off. You know what'd be real nice is if I could have like a scratch pad next to here. You know, I could totally just do that with a text editor. Have a scratch pad next to this with the instructions that I want to write. Oh man, FFmpeg invocations. This is how I do some stuff related to video processing. Let's just have a scratch pad here. Gonna write my program there, which I guess is a little bit annoying because I don't see like all the spatial layout stuff here, but that's fine. And you know, warnings and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, just as many lines as I want here. I'm used to, okay, I guess I can turn on caps lock, that's fine. Anyway, so my idea for saving some room here was that I can do this. Well, now hang on. There was an idea here. Okay, so BZ. This is okay. This might be throwing me off too much. And actually, yeah. So I'm not doing that at the moment. Let's keep working in here. But at least I have that as a tool. So there was some way that this was going to work. So ACK is definitely 0 when I reached there. There was going to be some way that this would help. Yeah, here we go. It was like this. So move up in there. It'll take an extra cycle. Well, no, it won't, because I'm skipping the jump loop. Okay. So that saved me an instruction. So yeah, regardless, you're moving whatever's in this buffer down there. You can just stick that into that buffer and then send it on in that case. So that saved me a line. So only move ACK down. Yeah, so nobody else is moving anything down. So NZ means yeah, I'll probably have to minimize these swaps somehow or something. I can probably do that. So NZ. The problem with NZ is sticking it anywhere means I have to do a jump. What does NZ actually mean? It means move 0 left. And then jump to send, right? Yeah, so it'd be great if I could somehow stick in a jump send right over there. Okay, so I only need to reclaim one more line for that, don't I? So you're either moving this, or moving this, or moving this. Yeah, so you're doing one of those three. And this is how you... Let's see, I could... I'm seeing a possible, like, use of the neg instruction here. Yeah, so what if... No, I don't think I can make that. Oh, okay, let me think about it. I really just need to save one more instruction here, because all I need is just between these two lines, I need a jump send, right? I think that's all I need. Well, actually, I'm looking at this, and why am I sending the signal over here for a moment before sending it there? And I mean, I haven't even implemented that over here. So it looks to me as though I can just do this, and this, and this. Change send to sent. And since sent doesn't need to read the signal from here and move it, then it can just do this, right? Okay, is that all I needed? Seems vaguely plausible. I feel like I'm missing some stuff. Let's just see what happens if I run. I'm sure this program is unfinished. So you read 2 of those, then deadlocked. You're trying to listen for a signal. Ah, of course, because you never sent another read signal. Because you're reading write twice and you didn't tell it about it. Well, I had a spare line. You have 52 in you. Who's waiting inappropriately? Like, yeah, at this point I'm just not sure which part of my program is unfinished. Okay, so you want to read something. You want to read something. You are looking for information from you. But you haven't been given anything right, of course. So this node is starved because... Well, hey, I got a correct bit of output here. Yeah, so now it's just a matter of timing all my stuff so that, like, you get the information you need at the appropriate time. That might not be too hard. I think that's just a matter of these being a bit smarter. But I need to understand what's wrong first. So let's watch carefully. So 20 comes in, 17 comes in. 20, 17. What is it, F6? 23 wants to go there, 52 wants to go there, but it's going to be a bit before they get there. All right, so 20 comes down here, 17 comes down there. Great. 17 goes in the stack, 20 goes in the stack. 20 should go there. Good. It's not 0, so you're continuing. You swap it, sure, whatever. Then you read the write, you get the 17. Good stuff. You're still waiting for a signal. Good. So you should wait for a signal from you. You should wait for a signal from you. You're waiting for a signal from this. All right. So we do all the comparisons. You should land. You landed in the wrong place. why did that happen? Okay, so first of all, why did that happen? You got the 20, you swapped, you got the 17. This should be NZ, okay? So that's part of my problem. JNZ makes sense. So nobody is 0. Your signal is 0. I sent it, so then I'm going to try to read from you. All right, so read from left. You read a 20. Good. Read from right. Subtract it. You read a 17. Great. It's not less than 0, so you jump to left. That sounds wrong. Also, won't you just deadlock there forever? Okay, so for one thing, this was backwards. For another thing, I added this, but I didn't have one for an equivalent one for the left. Okay, so that's certainly a problem, because I'm out of space for that. When you guys get a 0, can you just write your thing twice, maybe? Well, only one of them is going to do that, then I need to move the other to nil or something, don't I? Shoot. Maybe I can delete these and have it unconditionally send once. Oh boy, I don't know about this. Yeah, okay, so my problem is I can't fit another signal to the left to read from it. And I can't have my signaling really, like, share, can I? Like, now I'm thinking again about using last or any here, but I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Well, let me think for a moment. Here we go. Here's a solution that won't change too much. So I'm going to first, I'm going to send that signal beforehand. And when it gets that signal, it will send and restart. So send restart means move ACK right, and then go to restart. Sounds sensible, because the only time I'm ever sending this is when I want to also read it. So let's see how that does. So you're going to send a 0 up here. I want to read that. I want to read this. You got that. Okay, so right is the lesser. I'm telling you what I want. You should go to send restart, and then this goes, oh, okay. Why? Oh, of course. Okay, try again. All right, so you'll actually move the 17 over there. It got there, it's the 17, now you move it down, good, you wrote a 17, cool. Now what are the rest of you doing? You read a 52 and stuck it down there. You are starved because you don't know what's going on. How would you? So the 52 happens to be ready, but you don't know what's going on. You need to write another value to the down, or you need to hang on to it and write it again. Well, okay. So could you communicate that to this? Well, no, then the stack is going to... Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, so what do I know here? What information does... All right, so you need to know when you've sent a value so that you can send your own again? Yeah, see, that's the problem. I only talk to write, but I don't talk to this. Okay, well, That's how the value starvation happens, and it would happen the other way exactly the same. So it's like, you need to know when a value's been pulled from here, or you need to know when a value's been pulled from here, or maybe, instead... I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Got it. I know what to do. Check it out. I'm going to use any. So, this is totally going to work. So when a -123 signal goes to one of those, the other one, who is listening for a signal, will get a 444 signal. And whichever one got the -123 is going to take a moment. I can reclaim a lot of space in both of these if I need to. Let's at least do that here. So when I get a positive signal, I need to do some stuff. That doesn't fit, of course. Restart turns into res. Okay, so reclaiming some space. Still send restart. That can actually just fit. Great. Okay, so I got 3 lines opened up in both of those. So, when you get a less than 0, you say, okay, so jugs. Sure, something like that. Send down would be... Do I want to move ACK down? Let's see, yeah, so it's... I need to swap first is the annoying thing. So you're doing way too many swaps, possibly. So you would need another jump to loop here, and that doesn't fit. All right, so I need to save an instruction to do that, or do something else clever here. All right, so you read that value, you move it down immediately. Oh. So feels to me like what I actually want to do is MD for move down, because I want to go here anyway. I would want to jump to loop. Okay, great. That looks good. Okay, so send down does that. MD is this. I can afford a space. What a luxury. Jugs goes to send down. Okay, how's that work? It's doing stuff. 17, 20, 23, 52. This might be a finished program. Neat. Now when it hits all the zeros, it's good except it never sent the last value or a 0. That's interesting. So I'm missing out on the final value and a 0. All right, so that's fairly late in. I'll pause when you get to the 89 there, or a little before. So something's wrong with Buzz, right? This is almost there. I'm very, very close. So there's that 89. You're on... Are you already on your 87? 87's waiting. No, you're on 0. What's this 99? It's that 99. Yeah, so no, so you're still waiting. 99 hasn't made it into the stream yet. Okay, so 89. Buzz. But not actually. So 89 goes out there. Good. So now the question is what happens? Move left ACK. I get the 99. That's still waiting to go. Yeah, so why doesn't this 99 make it, is what I'd like to know. You got a 444. And move that down. Yes, of course. That's exactly what you did. You got a 33. Because you've already moved on. Hold on. So something's wrong with my logic for you just moving on. Or do you not pay attention to zeros? Hold on. So how did you handle the 0? Why did you already read that? It seems like you read it prematurely. So this is on 0. There's the 89. Okay, so when does that 0 get slurped up? You got the 83, sure. Okay, so 0 comes in. You got it. You put it there. There's that 0. You're going to still have your 99. You wrote another value. Wait, what happened? Why did you do that? Jez res. Res has got to wait for a signal, doesn't it? Or maybe I don't even want to Jez res. Let's try without that and see what happens. Yeah, because I have all my signaling set up. You guys don't even need to handle 0 specially. That was... Okay, that was great. You got one sequence, but now you're stuck. Why? Because I never send the signal to continue with this, of course. So somehow that has to pass through. How will that happen? Okay, so I need... Oh, no. Buzz, move ACK down. But you need to do more than that. Oh dear, yeah, this is a problem. I need to tell them about what's going on so they can discard those zeros and read. Oh no, how is that logic going to fit in here? I don't know yet. All right, I thought about it for a while. I think I know what needs to happen here. The first thing that needs to happen is I need to copy this because I'm going to be moving this all the way over here. Yeah, so I had a complete program for merging two sequences and then terminating. Problem is it needs to not terminate. It has to keep going and do more sequences. So that's what makes this tough. I definitely don't need those for anything. So I think the thing to do is to have this be a signal passer. You're going to move... Yeah. Okay, this will... Oh, oof. This is awkward. The way to reset is to send you a -1 and a +1. Send you both a negative number and a positive number so that you tell both of these to discard their values. You're going to be busy with a lot of stuff. That's probably okay. So first, let's just think about the idea of ferrying these things around. So for this value, it shouldn't be a problem. I guess let's start by just rephrasing this program so that this logic lives over here and everything else works the same. So you're going to first move a right to the left, and then you're going to move left to AC. Right, because you're getting the signal that you would send up here. Then you're going to have to interpret it, but let's not. Is it that simple? That's not how it works. You have a question mark. Hang on. How did you? Oh boy. So you went back up there. What is, so you want a value from this, but you never get it. So the 17 comes over there. You have the 20. Then you're waiting for a signal from you, which is going to be a 0. Okay. So you move it up there. That does its work. Great. Eventually you're going to get that down there, so 17 gets written out. Okay. And then you want to move one of these over here, right? So a 52 is going in there. Great. 52 goes in there. Great. Move up AC. Here's the problem. That doesn't want to happen at all. Oh, okay. Yeah, move AC down. Yeah, okay, so that was an optimization so that those could share instructions. So even just doing this has already freed up an instruction here, but it's still broken it. Why? Well, because you can't move down. Wait, so biz isn't even a thing, right? So send and biz both go away? Yeah, okay, so I've freed up 2 instructions in here just by doing this. That surprises me. And this still works just as well. Okay, well, great. That's a good start. So sent could simply turn back into loop. All right. So what can I do with 2 more instructions? All right, so what I need to do... I mean, all I think I need to do is just jump to loop instead of sent, jump to loop instead of sent, jump to loop instead of sent, and biz will, so I only got 1 more instruction out of that because this has to do something different. That's fine. That's all I need. I need something other than, let's say, 333 right. Okay, so move left to AC. Sub 222. Jugs. Reset. Add 222. Move AC up. Okay. I'm doing this slightly differently from how I normally do it, but that's fine. So, if you have received a signal that's still positive after subtracting 222 from it, then it means it's this one, that's the 0, so you need to move a 0 down. So at the very least, that'll terminate the sequence. Wait, were you sending a 0 anyway? Hang on, what's that going to do? Yeah, okay, so it gets the sequence terminator there. Great. Okay, so that's replicated the logic of moving 0 down. Right. Okay, but then I have a bunch more instruction space, and I can reclaim even more like that. and like this if I want to. Sure, let's just, I always end up having to do that, so just do it up front. Okay, so here's all my instruction space. I can put whatever I want in there. Oh, and all I want to do is just -5 up. I've chosen 5 for some reason. I just want to tell it to discard some stuff. Okay. Alright, here just starts. That sounds plausible, right? So yeah, just break out of this loop, tell this to read the left value, which really all I want to tell it to do is tell this to read the next value, discard that value, tell this to read the right value, which all I want it to do is discard and read the next one, discard that value, and then proceed, right? Sounds pretty plausible to me. That sure filled up this node, just like breaking it out and adding those few instructions with the extra messaging and everything, well, and the signal. That didn't work. Fascinating. Oh, I think I know why. Because sending these signals up here causes you to write those values again down there, doesn't it? And I need to, like, ignore those? Okay, so watch what happens here. Yeah, you end up with extra values in you. Shoot. Okay, so I didn't think this all the way through. Yeah, the problem is I need to discard the right value. That's one of the problems. But then I also have to discard the left value, which is much harder. Okay. So plausibly, I could like pass along whatever signal gets sent from downward. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. So you can maybe distinguish. Okay, so if I do this, and then part of the problem is right is now going to get a positive number here. I don't have room for a neg there. So I would just have to change... Oh, shoot. Well, no, that causes all sorts of problems. Yeah, it causes all sorts of problems downstream. If I could fit a neg in here before I move that on, then I could have a signal that comes from here be passed along to those, and then they could tell the difference between being told to discard their values and being told to just continue as normal. Because while I could discard the extra value that's written down here, I don't have any instruction space here to tell you to discard your value. And this won't just keep on working, right? I mean, let's make sure that I actually understand what's going on here. So I guess really what I want to do is this. Right, so you got there. You're at the right place. Okay, so both are 0. Let's just see what happens in case I'm misunderstanding it. I don't think I am. So I get this up to 2. Reset. Move 0 down. You terminate it. Great. Tell this to discard that. Get its value and discard it. So send, restart, swap, move ACK right, that's fine, move up ACK. So the problem is the move ACK down happens here, and I want it not to in the case that this control flow is happening. Yeah, so this so far matches my understanding. Yeah, you're doing stuff you shouldn't. Although, maybe I could have you talk to you in such a way that will just discard your value and tell you to move on. That's plausible, I think. It's a big hack, but it's plausible, I think. So you would need a move right nil, and then you'd need some instruction space and you're out. I mean, this program can probably be compacted a little bit in some way. Not certain about that, though. Yeah, so that 0's sitting there and waiting. You're going to read it. The 0 went, and then the 33 is also coming. And you are working with bad values, yeah. So you're going to get an 87, which is just nothing. Yup. Okay, so if I wanted you to place this into a plausible control state. Let's see, so move up ACK, swap, move right ACK, swap, move 222 right. So no matter what you've done, I just want this value to go away. I want you to reach loop again. You're in a special control flow state here. Can I move something to the left? Move right, left. So I think I would just like move a non-zero value to the left. You would eventually get here and send me a 222, and then I have to discard that 222. Okay, this is pretty plausible. All I gotta do is fit a move left nil in here. It'd be nice to get a move right nil in here, but technically I think I could get away without it. This stack would slowly fill up. Yeah, so I would have essentially a memory leak in the program if I did that. That stack would slowly fill up as this proceeded. That's kind of funny because I wouldn't have discarded this value. I'll bet I could get away with it, but maybe certain random inputs would have enough of these that the stack would fill up, so that's a concern. So really I want a move left nil and a move right nil to fit in here before I do the rest of this. Okay, let me think about if there's a way I can do that. Alright, so it looks like I can at least free up an instruction here by doing this a less weird way. So I would move up, down, and then jump, start, and then this can fall through, so that goes away. So this should let me get away with the memory leaky program here, right? Seems plausible. I mean, I think I'm going to have to take it because I just don't have the instruction space to empty out this stack. Right, so that's a breakpoint. Continue. Looks good! I got an extra thing on the stack. That might actually end up causing problems if you read this too fast, but it did do another one correctly. Let's get rid of that breakpoint and run fast and see if I can get away with this leaky program. I didn't. Okay, so something went wrong. And it wasn't because the stack filled up. Actually, it might be. All right, so something goes wrong there. Let's see, how am I going to catch this? It's a race. Okay. So it happens where exactly? .31. I wonder if I'm handling zero length sequences. I wonder if this requires me to. I don't see any. You got a 0. Why? Okay, so when after it writes this 13, something goes wrong and you write a 0 because you're at the end. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if it has to do with my memory leak. It must? Let me find a way to solve this leak, and I think everything else will just fix itself. That's my suspicion. Okay, well I think the obvious way to do that is this. And I think that will be okay no matter what these values are, because all you do is read those values, and process them into a signal. And if I'm just discarding whatever that signal is, then this actually, I think I can get away with this. Let's find out. Let's run fast. Yay, it works. Okay, cool. Ooh, high cycle count. There was a quicker way. High instruction count. There was a shorter way. There was also a smaller way. Okay. So this is the point at which I really wish I had like somebody else who was doing an LP in this style so I could watch what they did and see like other approaches to this. Does anybody have recommendations for other LPs of this game? I guess I could just go search on my own, but like curated recommendations might be better than just making like a random search, because I would love to see somebody else's process for getting through this. I guess I could just like Google solutions for these and see how they differ, but I don't know. I want to be walked through it the same way that I'm doing here. Anyway, yeah, so I did something that apparently was inefficient there. I don't know what it was. I mean, there are definitely a lot of ways to do this. I didn't involve this stack memory node at all. If I had understood what the, and honestly, this was just a pass-through. So this basically was not acting as a stack memory node. It's just like a move data from here to here. Yeah, it's just like basically take this out, connect this pipe to this, and this one to this. Or really just this one to this. And this would work fine. Okay. So yeah, what could I have done with these stack memory nodes that would have been faster? I just don't have any intuition for like what that would have helped. But hey, I got it done. So yeah, let's just pretend this was a challenge node where it's like, don't use the stack memory nodes, except I still failed that because I did this. Never mind. Anyway, I solved it. Didn't take like an entire eternity, only part of an eternity. Anyway, cool. So sequence merger done. Sequence range limiter next time. I'll see you then.